Hey everybody, this is Heartless Spartan here with another threezero Toy Talk review. Today I have the FigZero 16 Scale G.I.Joe Cobra Commander Figure. Now this figure has been out for a while and is a little bit hard to come by at the major toy retailers at this point, but he can still be found online for retail price if you dig deep enough or find one out in the wild someplace. I happened to find mine online for retail price, which is why I decided to do a review for Cobra Commander. Sorry if this video turns out a bit rushed. It was getting ridiculously hot in the room I was recording in. That aside, let's get into the review. Okay, let's take a look at Cobra Commander. Nice cover art on the box. Got some nice photos on the back. Now he does have a window box that's velcroed on. Got our Cobra emblem on the inside. A nice window box of Cobra Commander. That looks cool. Alright. Can't wait to get this one out of the box. Let's actually go ahead and open this up. See, we have a set of information. I think this is a warranty sheet from threezero. What does this tell me how to put the cape on? Oh, the cape's magnetically attached. That's going to be cool. Just a little minor assembly, nothing to worry about. Alright, cool. Just after pulling the lid off, alright, so let's take a look at Cobra Commander first. Let's take this plastic off of there. We're going to save all of these in case I repack them in the future. That is very cool and super reflective. That helmet is awesome. That is really cool. It's just going to reflect the lamps, but that's alright. Oh, I love how mirrored that is. That is cool. And then there's actually some weathering on his helmet. His helmet is plastic. I don't think threezero is really a brand that uses any kind of metal or die cast in their sets. But they still do a really good job of making the stuff look like it should. His suit is a very good quality cloth. The stitching looks very good on here too. Like the ornamental rope there. Is there anything on his buttons? No, there is not. Okay. Nice, very nicely printed Cobra emblem on there. I like the gear on his belts. Yeah, belts, plural. A couple of little pouches on there. I like the look of that buckle. That's cool. Nice red stripe going down the side of the pants. Very cool. The look and aesthetic of this character is spot on. I love it. So the gloves are sculpted. Let's see, like the lower part of the gloves are almost like a vambrace that's separate from the hand sculpts. So you'll be able to swap out the hand sculpts. We'll do that in a little bit. Oh, this seems like a nice leather holster here. That is awesome. Very cool. All right, and then this should be up a bit. Got this for his knife or his dagger, whatever you'd like to call that one. Now, the vambrace parts of his gloves, and well, they're not actually vambraces, but I'm just calling them that because they're separate parts. And like the shin guard looking parts of his boots, those are like the soft kind of rubber material, so they flex a little bit, and there's a little bit of give to them to allow the figure to move and to make them like swapping out real easy. His boots are like a molded plastic, but they have a really good sculpting detail on there that makes them look like they're leather, which they did a really good job on. I like the painted buttons on his boots that make them look like they're metal. Got some studded traction on the bottom of his boots. Copyright Hasbro. threezero. Nice. This is sick. This is going to make for some like cool photography. Alright. So I'm going to set Cobra Commander in the background, and we'll take a look at his accessories. Alright, the first thing we'll take a look at is his staff. Now, it comes separate in two pieces, like this. It just simply pops together. Wait. There we go. There is a certain way of doing it because there's two little notches for these gold points to slide into it. So this like Cobra staff looks pretty cool. It looks like something goes in there. Was there? No, it doesn't look like it came with anything that goes in there. That's very well painted. I like that. You got like all the little dark spots in between all of the scales on the back of the head. That looks really good. Let's see if I can't focus a little bit better. The red eyes. They did a very good job on this. And then I'll set this off to the side for now, and then when we swap out some hands later, we can see how well he actually holds that. Another accessory is his dagger. There we go. Little bright red gemstone at the top of that. It is plastic. It is not metal or die cast. It has a good amount of paint detail on it. I like the way it looks. Just a little bit pointy at the end. Now, how should we slide this in? Is there a certain way? Okay, yeah, so on the instruction manual, we have the little curvy part of its hilt, kind of, or the little guard facing that way. Can we get it in all the way? There we go. Nice. Okay. Next, we have his pistol. It doesn't feature any kind of like movable parts, or like the magazine can't come out. It's just cool that he comes with one of the guns, or his pistol. Now, for now, I will stick this into his holster. We can try that on his hands later. This holster's a little funky because it has these little sides on it, though. There we go. I'm not going to worry about latching that right now because I'm just going to pull it out in a little bit. I recommend using tweezers for that. Now, he also comes with additional hand sculpts. He has the closed fists on him already, but he also comes with left and right open palms. His gloves actually look kind of cool. Let's see, we have like the weapon hands, like the trigger hands for left and right. And the another set of like holding fists that are like semi-open. That'll be good for holding the staff, hopefully. Now, he also came with 2 additional wrist pegs, which is always fantastic. I do like that threezero includes these with their sets, because sometimes it's just too easy to break these things, even when you're being extremely careful. So it's nice that they include those. I appreciate that. All right, so let's actually swap out a set of the hands. There we go. Yeah, so here we have the wrist peg in there, and this part of his glove that I keep calling a vambrace, it just slides right off. So here, I'm actually going to put one of his trigger hands in there. Articulation gets limited by his clothing a little bit, it seems. I want to make sure that's snapped in there pretty well. There we go. Okay. Kind of messed up his sleeve a little bit doing that, though. I'll have to fix that later for the photographs. All right, so how... Well, you know what? Let me swap out the other hand first. I'm going to put one of these in there. There we go. Okay. I can straighten that out later. So let's test his pistol. How well does he hold his pistol? Extremely well. He is not going to be dropping that. How well does he hold his little staff? I don't want to mess up the gold on there. I wonder. There's an easier way of doing this. Let's pop the head off and then slide that through. And then pop that back on. There we go. Alright. So he doesn't hold it super stiff, but depending on how you angle his hand, it's kind of rubbery enough that it kind of holds it in place. I think usually you'll just kind of want it at about that point. So you can kind of get him doing his pose there. This knife always wants to slide down. I keep knocking it down. but he is pretty well articulated. Ankle ball joints. Knees bend pretty far. Nice. We could actually get some pretty good articulation out of this. To get some pretty cool poses in. Which just looks fantastic. I'm sorry. I left one important thing out. Yeah, he falls over disappointed. It's like, how do I miss this? His cape. Like, how did I just completely bypass that? All right, so his cape does have that wire in it down the sides and across the top on this side, but not across the bottom, so that you're able to bend it and pose it. But let's actually test that magnetic feature out here. Stand up our Cobra Commander. So where is it magnetic at? There. And there. Okay, yeah, I can feel the little magnet there in the shoulder. Okay, so we got to get it up under the back of his helmet, and then it goes on a little bit easier. Where's the other magnet? So there's one right there, just under his collar. And there's the other magnet under this other collar. Okay. I know it showed me in the instruction manual, but sometimes you just gotta find it on the figure. And you know what? It actually holds on there well enough. The material of the cape is kind of, I don't know, I don't want to call it cheap, but it's not like the best quality of cloth, but it does have a good look to it. And it works very well with the character's aesthetic. However, his outfit, the cloth on his outfit is very nice. So I can see that trade-off just a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, we'd be good for the montage. threezero has done a phenomenal job of recreating the aesthetic of Cobra Commander and turning it into a 6-scale figure. I know plenty of others have been done in the past, but I am happy to be getting some G.I. Joes again, and this does not disappoint. Cobra Commander's reflective visor was a very cool surprise. I honestly did not expect that. Many of the paint applications include a good wash to make the details pop out quite nicely, especially on the scales of the Cobra Scepter. The quality of materials are quite good except for maybe the cape, but I feel like they did that to make it light enough to be easily posable. Yeah, a heavier fabric would not have been nearly as posable to pose the cape so well. However, the magnets probably needed to be a bit stronger for me to feel more comfortable about affixing the cape soundly. The leather holster and pistol look great. The posability of the figure is also quite good, which will allow for some pretty awesome photography for those that really get into that. Overall, though, I am happy with this figure and look forward to collecting the rest of the G.I. Joe line as they release. I do, however, have more prior released Cobra enemies and Joes that are on the way, so I hope you look forward to the reviews of those as well. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. The threezero G.I. Joe line is great, but what other G.I. Joe stuff would you like to see approved or made by Hasbro? I would absolutely love the historical and modern military G.I. Joe 12-inch line make a comeback. A man can dream, though. This has been Heartless Spartan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.